My ex and I met in college and were madly in love all 4 years in school. Got married after graduation in 2010. In 2013, I caught her in a year-plus affair with a coworker. I was crushed. She said they loved each other. Soulmates, didn't mean to hurt anyone, blah blah blah. We divorced only 3 months later. I was crushed. Worst time in my life. I mourned for over a year. I heard they got married. One day I decided I was tired of being sad, so I completely let go of her in my heart. Got off my butt and truly moved on. I'm a programmer by profession and decided to take a pre-sales solutions consultant gig with one of the biggest software companies on the planet. That job has been amazing. I've traveled the entire world, every continent and all the major cities. Life has been a great adventure. I never did date seriously or remarry. I'm not opposed to casual dating and have dated beautiful women all over the globe. After my experience with marriage, I decided that wasn't my path and have been happy. Sometimes lonely, especially during holidays, but overall happy. I had decided enough traveling for a while, so I switched roles and am based in a major city in the US. I'm sitting in a diner on a Saturday morning eating breakfast and reading the news, Facebook, Reddit, etc., and somebody says my name. Oh my God. The voice sounded like one of my women friends at work, so I looked up to say hi and my jaw dropped. It's my ex-wife. Here I am 2,000 plus miles away from our old hometown. Haven't seen her in almost 6 years, and there she is. I was dumbstruck. All I could manage was hi. I hate to say it, but she looked beautiful. She said I looked amazing. She asked if I was busy, and that she didn't want to bother me but that she'd love to talk. I said sure. We ended up talking for over 2 hours and continued for another couple of hours when we went for a walk in a close-by park. We were making small talk about mutual acquaintances, my stories of traveling the globe, everything but the elephant in the room. She finally asks me if I had gotten remarried at any point. I said no, once was enough. She seemed sad by that. We walked in silence for maybe a minute, and she said, I have to say that I'm so sorry for what I did to you. You didn't deserve it. It was incredibly shitty and has haunted me since it happened. You didn't do anything wrong. I said you fell in love with someone else and married them. I couldn't stop you from doing that. I wanted you to be happy. Then I asked, are you happy? She laughed one of those joke laughs, huh? She told me the and her fought constantly and he ended up cheating on her and leaving her 2 years into marriage. I said, I'm sorry that happened to you. I know how bad that can hurt. She said she knew that when her heart was broken, all she could think of was that she had done the same thing to me and that tortured her. She said she fell apart for almost a year, engaged in very self-destructive behavior, and then went to therapy to figure out why she's so screwed up. She said that was extremely helpful, and several years ago she finally grew up and holds herself accountable for her own actions now. She had ended up moving to this city because she has an aunt that she loves that lives there, and after her second divorce before age 30 she needed to make big changes in her life. The changes were noticeable. She's definitely more mature. I had to go and get ready for the evening with friends, so we said our goodbyes. We exchanged contact info and agreed to go have coffee and talk more. We have been doing that. We're both single. I guess there's no harm. I can tell she wants more from me. She wants me to want her back. She drops hints as big as the Pacific Ocean. I'm not dumb. I have to admit she still has that certain something that just makes my heart skip a beat. Something I can't describe. Something I hadn't found in anyone else since her. I guess it's chemistry between us. To be honest, I want to be more than friends. I want to hold her and kiss her. She wants that too, but as of yet I've made 0 moves. What holds me back? Fear. I'm afraid of getting hurt again. If she had been a casual girlfriend that dumped me, I would have shook it off and moved on quickly. She wasn't though. She was my wife and the love of my life. I used to dream of her somehow coming back into my life. Well, here it is and I'm scared shitless. I don't know if I can give her that much of myself again. I'm way more protective of my heart now. We've both grown a lot and the past seems like 100 years ago. If she wasn't who she is, I'd already be head over heels in love. I struggle with, do I pursue love with her again or do I leave the past in the past? It sounds cliche, but it just had to be her. Of all the people I could have met here, it had to be her. I am happily married now. I've been together with my wife for 8 years. Married for 6. I've always been honest with her. When we got together, I let her know that I had been engaged before. She obviously had questions. This is going to be fun, I said. My first portion of advice is never date a stripper. You think you can change them, but you cannot. It is not as glamorous or exciting as it seems. I met the ex in a strip club, obviously. She called me back and we hung out. She was beautiful and blonde as well as athletic. At that time I was young and dumb, full of hormones and testosterone. What preceded was the worst 6 months of my life. I was paying for everything. For a stripper, she sure as hell didn't make good money. as soon found out. She was addicted to buying clothes among other things. We rented a house together, then moved into a bigger one. Where it started to get shady for me is when I found out about a friend of hers. He was an older man who owned a car dealership. He was just a friend. Occasionally she would spend time with him because he was lonely and I would pick her up. I know how it sounds. I was a fucking idiot. She also had a kid, and he was a great one at that. They obviously had some issues, and I tried to make things better. Coming from a pretty fucked up household that involved a lot of drugs and arguments, I had sympathy for them. My brother and his wife were initially supportive, but warned me. Things went to hell when she started sleeping in all day, spending more money, and more time with her friend. I would work 12 to 14-hour shifts, then have to go pick her son up from practice because she forgot or slept in. We started to get behind on bills, and were using credit cards way too much. I started to realize that this is not good. Apparently because some of my coworkers knew who she was. Also, people in the hospital knew who she was. This was not great for my career. There were a few things that helped me make my decision to ghost her. She absolutely refused to get help. When I found out about her narcotic habit, when I found 6 empty oxycodone bottles in her drawer. Another great thing is when she stole half my prescription of Adderall for my ADHD. I was not sleeping or eating well. I was super stressed. And then of course she spent the night with the guy I found out. The last straw for me was when we were so broke. I had to sell my dead friend's rifle that he had given to me to pay bills. The guy was a single dad and deserved it. I'm glad I sold it to him. But as he left and I was sitting in the parking lot with $400 in my hand, I quickly realized that this was blood money, addiction money for her habit. I cried a little. I'm not embarrassed to say that. I called my twin brother. May he rest in peace. I told him what was going on and everything that happened. He and his wife had me come over to their house. The stripper tried to get me back and harassed me and them, and told me that I needed to come home and take care of my family. They did not let me leave. When she was gone one day, my brother and his friends helped me move out and grabbed everything that was mine. That was the best thing they could have done for me. My brother truly showed what a real brother was. I moved back in with my mom. I completely ghosted her and left her with the rent. I felt bad for her kid, but nobody cheats on me and gets away with it. She tried to have me come over and grab my mail and I did. Came out dressed sexy and everything. I was not having it. I said take care of yourself. As I was leaving, I heard her scream as I got into my car and start breaking things in the house. That was the last time I would talk to her, or so I thought. I was Christmas shopping at her local mall with my best friend. I go onto the 2 aisle and look who's there. It's my ex. I was shocked. She worked there for the season. She walked up and talked to me and said it's nice to see you and hugged me. My arms were at my side. She whispered in my ear, you look great, I'd like to jump your bones. I said yeah, good to see you. My friend said let's get the hell out of here. We pretty much ran out of there. I was nauseated seeing her again. But that was truly the last time. Everybody at work and in my family was very supportive. And because of this, I was able to get back to normal and save my career. To all the guys and girls out there, have some respect for yourself. Establish standards. If you have a suspicion, follow up on it. Do not back down and be a doormat like I was. 6 months after we broke up, I met the love of my life. We are happily married, and I've never trusted another woman more. Thank you to who read this. And for me, I can never forgive a cheater and a liar. And as the saying goes, once a cheater, always a cheater. I am trying not to judge other people who have cheated and repaired their marriage, but they knew the risk and what they were doing was wrong. Some can fix their relationships. I could not and would not. I am a good husband to my wife and will never betray her. Edit, someone made a point on here. There are some good strippers out there that have their shit together and work hard to make good money. It worked for them, so I do not mean to judge all of them.